Hello friends, it's Chrissy. We're back with Vlogmas. I did not have a video for yesterday because I did that thing that I do sometimes where I forget that my headphones are attached to my phone and I record a video and there is no there's no audio attached and I don't really feel like doing a voiceover, so there is a video for yesterday. It just never showed up. So today I am doing the tag from Astro Lady Tarot that I think originated somewhere else, that I really appreciate the revival of. The decks I would repurchase, decks I would buy again. And because the way that my brain operates is I need a backstory. Like, I can't just say, and you know, what happened if all my decks went away? I need a backstory. So the backstory that I have decided on is that if Herschel knocks my phone down, we're gonna go round and round, Miss Marsh. Anyway, the story that I have is that all of my decks have been stolen and are being held for ransom. And I don't know why my decks are so important, but they're not, you know, there wasn't fire, there wasn't flood, there was stolen with ransom. So that's how that's how I'm viewing why I need to rebuy decks. She's not knocking my phone over, but she is chewing on the tree. Hello, Miss Marsh. Hello. So, I was really surprised that when it came right down to it, I could identify 4 with like no hesitation. And then after that, honestly, the rest of my collection sits on this even playing field. So I don't feel like I can even say I would do these and then these. I feel like I would do my original rebuy and then just let things happen as they happen. But these 4 were non-negotiables. Do you want to say hello, Miss Marsh? Hi, are you purring for our friends? Does she always look that judgmental? No, sometimes she's worse. By the way, for those of you that know my fur babies, Albus, my big boy, is asleep in a box with a yoga blanket in it upstairs. He's usually right by my side or, you know, on Nathan's lap, but he's asleep in a box, so we'll take it. All right, the 4 decks that I would immediately repurchase. The first one is a cheat because the first one is mine and it is not for sale. However, there are 4 copies of this deck in my vicinity. I have the one I keep on my desk, the one I keep in my purse, the copy that I keep in our fireproof box, because yes, I'm that kind of person, and my husband has a deck. So I really doubt that deck pirates are going to get all 4 copies. But this is, I can call it my soul deck because it is, because I made it. This is a narrative Alchemy Tarot. I don't know anything about a reprint. I'm actually struggling with that right now, but this is my deck. This is my baby. This is my voice on cards. Okay, Hirsch. She really wants attention. She's being a meerkat over here. I'll do this one-handed because I got to pet Mersh with the other. This would, without question, be the first deck that I either rescued or replaced. I mean, it is out of print, but I can always get a single copy printed for, you know, for a fee, right? But this is, yeah, this is my deck. This is the first deck that I'm going to say reacquire if deck pirates showed up at my house. The second deck that I would repurchase is, I feel like this is everybody else's first, and it's my second, is a Rider-Waite Smith. This is the Centennial borderless. And I know some people get really persnickety about the 8 of Wands being just 8 wands, and even so many Rider-Waite-Smith recreations do the lazy 8 moving wands, and I love it. I love it. I don't need anything else. That tells me all I need. This deck is, I was not aware this deck was in order. So let's, yeah, there's nothing special, nothing fancy. It's, I'm not sure about my deck. I feel like this green, now granted, I'm shooting in super low light so you can see my tree, but I feel like this green is much darker than the ones that I see you all have on the internet, but I don't care. It's fine. I love Judgment so much. So yeah, and borderless is important to me. I also really like the Pamela Coleman Smith deck, the one that's like really muted grays, but I don't want borders. I enjoy being able to see the image really spread out. So my second deck, probably should not sit them there on my stand, right? My second deck that I would reacquire is the Rider-Waite-Smith Centennial. I'm being swatted at now from this side. Do you want to play with cards? Do you want to be on camera again? Is that what this is? Hi. Oh, don't call my sweater. Hello. Hello. I go to show her face, and that's not what she wants. All right, the balance. Your balance on my computer, on a pillow, on a little floof. The third deck that I would, without question, reacquire, repurchase is my Tarot of the Drowning World. This is by Con and Selznick. This deck is magic. It is Marseille inspired. It is flowers and figures floating in, it's an order too. How weird am I today? Floating in water. This deck, I have a soft spot, a real soft spot for decks that were created during the pandemic. And also, I don't understand this deck, but this deck understands me. The guidebook is necessary, in my opinion, and brilliant. I love it. I love it. I don't know why. I don't know what it means. But I think because, and I'm learning Marseille next year, so I recognize that will give me a little more insight. But I think the fact, as I make sure I'm not showing you one of the Dead Lamb cards because they freak me out. I think the fact that I don't get it, that logically it doesn't make sense to me, and that it's hard to pull intuition. Sorry, Erin, I see you calling, but I'm in the middle of a video. It's hard to pull intuition from these random items floating around. This deck really forces me to depend on the guidebook. And I feel like it's teaching me a level of respect, and a level of, what's the word I want to use, Mersh? A level of, bowing is the word that comes up, but that's not exactly it. Acquiescence, maybe, to the deck creators, to those who, I just got to pet her with one hand. That's what we're doing now. Yeah, to bow, to acknowledge the intention of the deck creators, and let that be what the card means. So this is the Tarot of the Drowning World. This is the third of the 4th decks that I would repurchase, reacquire, if Deck Pirates took my entire collection. And then finally is another, strangely enough, a deck that I don't understand, but understands me. I didn't know I was showing you Herschel, or I would have, like, you wouldn't be on propped up on 3 squishy things, but alas, you are, because I wanted you to say Yukon Cornelius. And what else is floating over here? We have Charlie Brown and Snoopy in a tree. We have a really cute little, one of the guys where you pull his legs and he moves. That's Nathan's from when he was a kid. This is a little orange and yellow cat. That's a memorial ornament for our kitty cat Scully. This is not the time for a tree ornament tour, but that is what I do. The fourth deck that I would, without question, automatically rebuy is Tarot's Color. My copy doesn't smell. It did when I got it. I honestly think the smell might be in the box, not in the cards. Since I keep it in the wrap, the cards don't smell. Just saying, just entertaining that as a possibility. Another deck that I don't get, but it gets me. Thankfully, she's playing with something that is not my sweater. They're almost like Rorschach tests, where if I spend enough time with the card, I get something out of it. And thinking about how does the world sit in with the crown chakra and the third eye chakra and this sense of nothingness? Like how does that fit in with my understanding of the world? The world as a card and the world as like a concept and where we live and what we do. And what I also really enjoy about this deck is using it with other decks and then pulling things out. So example, if I use it with the with the Tarot of the Drowning World, I can pull out dark blue elements and yellow elements and pink elements, and that's what in that card I pay the most attention to. This deck is magic. It tells me things. This is the Ten of Wands, and this card is so clearly, you're going to be all right. I don't know. That's what every time I see that card, that's what comes up. Yeah, it's just, I use it in my Reiki practice. I use it as just a spiritual tool. I use it as a clarifier for other decks. I don't get it, but it gets me, and that's okay. So other than that, like there are other decks that I'm like, I would eventually get Future Ancestors, and I would eventually get one of the Christmas Rider-Waite Smiths. I would eventually get like I would miss Carnival at the End of the World. There's a lot of decks I would miss, I guess. But repurchasing, reacquiring, other than these four, I think I would kind of like that I don't know, that curiosity, that just wait and see what happens. So yeah, those are the four decks I would repurchase, reacquire after Deck Pirates ravaged my collection. Miss Marshall and I, hi. Do you want to say hello one more time? Hi. Miss Marshall and I say adios for today. And at least I, and maybe she, will see you tomorrow. Have a good night.